Hello and welcome to another episode of Life in Rural Japan. Today I thought we'd have a talk about there's a lot of young Japanese flocking to Australia on working holiday visas. So why are they going to Australia? Well, the big thing's money. They can get working holiday visas. They can go to Australia if they're between 18 and 30. They can go to Australia for a year and work. Now, if they work in Japan, they get about 1,000 yen an hour, which is about $10. If they go to Australia, the minimum average wage in Australia is about $25. A lot are going into construction and doing that sort of work, and they can get up to about $35 an hour. So they can make quite a lot of money. So by the time they may pay their living expenses and all, they can still make a lot of money to bring it home, you know. So they go to Australia for 12 months and work, they can bring a fair bit of money back to them, back home with them. So just, you know, so that some of them are taking time off university, they'll have a year off university and go to Australia. A lot of them are going there to also improve their English. If they go on a study visa, they can't work, they can only study. So it's expensive to study there and living expenses. So a lot of them are choosing to do working holiday. They can get jobs. You know, when they're there, they're talking in English and listening in English and communicating with people, so their English is improving. So it's sort of killing two birds in one stone. They're improving their English and they're also making a good salary while they're there. So last year, from June to June, from June 22 to June 23, there were 14,000 holiday visas issued. From June 23 to March of this year, there were 12,000 issued. So they think it should go over the 14,000 for the year. So they probably have the number now, but it's July, it's just a bit slow them putting the numbers out. So many Japanese are off to Australia to work, improve their English and have a good time. But you know, I know when I was in Australia, I noticed when Japanese come to Australia, they have a pretty good time. They said let their hair down and relax. You know, they go out surfing and different things, and they sort of tend to enjoy themselves more than they do in Japan. In Japan, like in Japan, women, they always have makeup on. They put makeup on every day. In Australia, they don't worry about it. They don't worry about putting makeup on, and the Japanese sort of follow suit. So beer cans here. So watermelons are sort of looking pretty good. Yeah, so it's a good sort of cultural experience for them. You know, living expenses are more expensive in Australia. Like here, you can rent an apartment for about 70,000 yen, which is about $700. An apartment would cost you that. A flat in Australia would cost you about that a week. But you know, they get a few of them together, 3 or 4 together, and yeah, they can do okay. You know, cook their own food and that. They can save a lot of money. So that seems to be the big thing at the moment with the young Japanese. Zucchini are looking a bit at it. Kore okra. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of okra. Slimy sort of thing it is. Yeah, so that's a big thing at the moment with the young Japanese. So anyway, what are your thoughts about it? You know, like, you know, working holidays. Do you think they're a good thing? Also, I think it's pretty good too, because Australia is having a hard time finding people to do a lot of jobs. So with working holidays, people are coming in and helping out with the workforce for 12 months. They're not staying there, they're only there for 12 months and then they leave. So it's not too bad. It's a short-term help. They're helping for 12 months to help the workforce. So I think it's not a bad idea. And there are a lot of jobs that the Japanese do too, like in tourism. They help look after Japanese tourists when they come. When my wife, when she was in Australia on working holiday, she worked for some duty-free shops and some travel sort of companies, so helping organizing tours for Japanese and that. So she did that for 12 months. So there are those sort of jobs that a lot of Australians can't do because their Japanese isn't as good. So anyway, just a short video on what's sort of happening. But in Japan now, they're sort of complaining a lot of places about over tourism because the yen's so weak. So many people are coming to Japan that they're sort of, it's getting so busy, like Kyoto and Nara and places like that. There's just so many tourists, it's causing a bit of a problem. So, and now like Mount Fuji, they only let 4,000 climbers on the mountain per day. You have to buy you get a wrist bracelet when you go in. You have to pay for that. It costs 2,000 yen. And when they have gates, and you can only, if you haven't got your bracelet on, you can't go through the gate. You can't climb the mountain. And then they close the gates between 4 p.m. and 3 a.m. They're trying to stop people just coming in at like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock and just shooting straight up the mountain in one go. They want people to more take their time and stay in a hut and relax a bit instead of trying to do, like they call it, a bullet run. And a couple of people have died doing that sort of thing, so they're trying to prevent that now. So yeah, there's a lot of different things happening with tourism. So anyway, that's just a bit of a short talk about you know, working holidays in Australia, what's happening with Japanese going there and why they're going there. So, you know, they can come back, they've got a lot of money when they come back, they can buy a car or whatever and then finish off university if they've taken a year off university. They've improved their English a lot. So anyway, till next time, that's all for now.